Hi all, welcome to my Hibs v Dundee Predictorfy predictions. This one is going to be a laugh simply because we genuinely have a lot of question marks on the Hibs team, and it also in turn leads to where the team could kind of go post the summer window, as it were. So, as always, folks, if you want any info, as I said, follow me on Twitter, you can sub to me on YouTube, and also you can always ask me in here, Discord, Twitter, whatever it may be. If there are any questions, I'm always here to help, and as I said, I always put notes in here as well, but also try and explain everything. As I said, every ounce of support is massively appreciated, folks. And remember to check the rest of the predictors that cover like the rest of the league as well. They're all good folk, whether it be McBride, Stu, and all the other lads that cover the league, Weaselmont and Chris and that. So show them some love, folks, would be awesome. So basically, this is my initial starting 11 I'm thinking of, and I will explain it in my notes as well when I scroll it down in a little second. There we go. So basically, we played Celtic back to back league and cup respectively. Wasn't ideal because it's a right confidence drainer for a lot of teams. Now, my feeling is we will either go 4-3-3 or 4-4-2 against Dundee. Now, the reason why I'm thinking this is simply because we're going to start tweaking the team a little bit, but it's also to try and fit in certain players. Now, my feeling is at the moment that the back five is nearly there, but I feel scrutiny will happen. I feel Cadden or Miller will keep fighting for right back, depending on form. As in Chris Cadden, because we've obviously now got Nicky in as well. Marvin became under scrutiny for the third goal against Celtic, just as Hibs were starting to get back into the game, and we were showing some encouraging signs, but we would just it's defensively. It was like the old errors returning, and it's like, what lets us down? O'Hora. Personally, what baffles me is when we played PAOK in pre-season, Bursic, O'Hora, and Marvin looked class. They looked like in PAOK very solid, robust side, and we made them look very ordinary. And I thought Celtic and Rangers are maybe the only other teams that really gave PAOK, I would assume in theory would have gave PAOK a game as well, because Hearts, Aberdeen, they've all played them in recent seasons and not had very much luck. So I thought, well, Hibs have somehow done the unthinkable here. That is what it is. Albeit has not really got challenge at left back, so unless Nicky slots in to fit him in, which would not put past them. But I feel we'd end up playing Nicky a bit more advanced, more a left mid. If we go 4-3-3, at the moment, Newell, who is under scrutiny by fans, and a lot of fans at that, it's not like one or two, it is quite a few hundred, maybe even pushing into the thousands, are under scrutiny of him. And this is when you go on Facebook and Hibs.net and other platforms that are really scrutinising Newell heavily. Saying this is the standard for the captain and all this part, blah blah blah. And it's just the way it is, but I still rate Newell. I feel Newell's a very good player. I just feel what's not helping him is Campbell just offers nothing, in my opinion. He will offer goals, and that is about it. He just doesn't really offer much for this Hibs team just now. Yet he keeps getting games, sadly, which is no criticism of the young lad, but sometimes that's the way it goes. Mariah Welsh came from obviously Bournemouth, and I feel Mariah Welsh fits a little bit more better in this team, but then it becomes, does he get game time? And especially with Hugh Q Kwon on loan from Celtic, I expect him to be close to starter. I even think he could be fit to start simply because couldn't play the Celtic game. He'll have probably had pre-season in him, and this is the kind of game that he probably will get given a chance to either start or come off the bench. If we play a 4-4-2, then he may start over Campbell. But Campbell's not a big player for us. I didn't like Gray's comment on that at the start of the season. I was like, he's not a big player. Like, a fully fit Josh Campbell is not a big player for us. He could get 10 goals, 10 assists, and I think fans would still not be happy because they're not convinced with Campbell. Because it's like work rates and everything else on top of it. It's just, there's so much about Campbell that, like, he goes missing like 90% of a game, and if he suddenly turns up with a goal or an assist, it's like, from a Sorare point of view, he could have an all-round score of about -10. Oh, but he gets a goal. Aye, but the goal puts him to 50, not 60 or 70 points, because he's basically all-round game is tragic, and that is his problem. That is, and like, some fans pretty much have got the belief that he's literally a League One player, yet he's playing in the Premiership. So, sums up that. If we go 4-3-3, I think we go Bowie, Mikola, and Boyle up front. Bowie has played as a winger, but he, in like recent media over the last few days, has literally, he now wants to be an out-and-out striker. If we go 4-4-2, then Boyle will go right. Say Cadden left mid. Like, I'd rather go Cadden personally at left mid over like anything like Campbell. I don't have anything against Rudy. Rudy's still a young lad, but I wouldn't try and give him 90 minutes all the time or 60 minutes. I'd rather give him sub appearances to build him up. But Bowie and Mikola up front, I think, could be a very potent front two. Like, Mikola looked very up for it against Celtic, and give him a run of games, give him some confidence, get some goals in. It's like I've always said with certain players, whether it be Mikola or Yuan, who we'll get to in a minute, that these are players that they could get 10 or 20 contributions in a season, no problem. Like, they could get 10 goals and 10 assists because they've got a very robust game about them. But see what happens. As I said, it's why we've kind of got like 40% Mariah Welsh and Cadden for respectives. But as I said, I went 4-3-3 initially because Dundee are a form side. I don't know if we're going to line up a bit more defensive, like having two like Newland, say Kwon, or Mariah Welsh, say, as like the holding, like the box to box kind of mids, and then expecting Cadden and Boyle to be the wingers. But we'll wait and see. If I hear anything more, as I said, between now and Friday's deadline, I will put info about it. Now, we mentioned Juan briefly just a minute ago. He is pretty much, as far as I have heard, for all intensive purposes, he is away. He will be away between now and the transfer window shutting. Basically, a Hibs fan last week, it was a nice Hibs fan actually, that put up a post saying, "Oh, be good to see you back. Hopefully, you're not too far away." And basically, Yuan said, like, forget about it, ain't going to happen. And then there was another one of like, in your dreams. And then another one, basically another fan basically said to him, "Oh, I thought you were good, but you're pish. Basically, you're like a lazy so and so." And I'm like, oh my god! It was like it went from good fan, bad fan, bad fan. But and the thing was, Yuan was basically replying to them all. So it was like you were getting, so the ones that people were sharing, where it was the actual fans themselves who had put the posts up, and this is what was baffling. People were then sharing them on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and like Yuan even put up a post like the week before about my leader, because he was like, "Oh, I want to play with my brother," and all this, and it basically then led the assumption that, oh, my leader's signing for Hibs maybe for £500,000, but he's still at Hertha Berlin, and nothing's came from that. So hey ho, that's what you find with that. But as I said, in terms of transfer news coming in, Nisbet has been rumoured to come back to Hibs. Hibs and Aberdeen have expressed interest in signing as far as we are led to believe at the moment, Aberdeen is more advanced than Hibs, even though apparently Hibs have offered Millwall £500,000. Millwall don't want Nisbet, they've basically said get shot of him. However, the rumour that's gone about the last few days is that Millwall and Standard Liège want Rocky Bashiri. And on that assumption, if Millwall want Rocky, Hibs fans have then said, well, give Bashiri to Millwall, give Hibs Nisbet, basically. But if there's going to be money on top, then well, let's find a common ground, as it were. But Hibs fans have also rightly speculated, the sensible ones have said, like, Nisbet wanted to get away at the first opportunity. He could once he was finding some goals. He was like, well, I want away. Like, Birmingham wanted him, and then it never happened, and he goes to Millwall, and it's like flat as a pancake. So, it could happen there. Junior Hoylett's not 100% back. We still don't actually know what his actual injury is. We're still up in the air on that. There is, like, other transfer rumours been doing the rounds. Like, another centre back has been speculated. Like, Will Fish isn't coming back. He's away to Cardiff, or it looks like he's away to Cardiff. But another fullback has been rumoured. Harbottle obviously went away last week, but the ones that we're still trying to sort out is Jair, McCurdy, Kenna, in terms of what's happening with like a few of them. Like, there's quite a few players that we're still trying to be like, what's happening with them, because people don't know, and it'd be kind of good to finally address and take it from there. But as I say, these next 3 games, Dundee, Kilmarnock, St Johnstone, are 3 games that Hibs have a real chance to get 9 points from the board, get up this table, and make amends after the first couple of league games, and go into the international break going in up against Rangers at the end of September with a bit of confidence going in them. But there is a real chance that Hibs could go into that Rangers game with no points. There is a real belief amongst Hibs fans. That's how negative the vibes are just now, sadly, amongst Hibs fans. Like, for me personally, I feel Dundee, yes, a form side, but they are still a team that we should be able to beat. Kelly should be able to beat despite their form last season, but this season they've just not clicked at all. St Johnstone we should be beating, especially when it's Craig Levine, but it comes down to the players in the park being motivated to play. If you're not motivated, then sadly just go look elsewhere. But wait and see what happens. But as always, folks, if I do any updates, I will put I'll tweak the notes here. I'll tidy them up a bit, but I will put like an update, say like update of say like 20 like tomorrow or Friday, whatever it may be. If I hear anything, and as I said, if I do a formation change, I'll explain it as well. So hopefully you find this all useful, folks. Take it easy, all. Thanks for watching and listening as always. As I said, hopefully it helps you that have got Hibs stacks. As I said, I'm trying to get Bursic for under 23s. But see where I can fit maybe Newell and Mikola and Boyle, depending if mood takes me. But have a good one, folks. Take it easy, all. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.